Hello, my beautiful friends all over the world. Thank you very much for being here with me. Today I'm going to read the first lesson or the index lesson of the lesson number 1 from Break the Cycle. Okay. Free your true self to guide you. From Peter Gerlach. Okay. So basically my plan is to go over these lessons. I already did half of it in June or May, I don't remember. And I will do them again, and in case people need companionship to do them, they can always use my videos to do this free guide to free yourself. Okay, so let's do this. I will always, of course, leave the links down below. Okay, so lesson 1. This website provides a way to assess your inherited psychological wounds to start to reduce them as needed. As you do, proactively guard your descendants for inheriting lethal wounds and ignorance. Links to Lesson 1. These resources are used in the free online Lesson 1 study guide. There are 4 groups: research summaries, supporting premises in this lesson, basic concepts, psychological wounds and recover from using part words, and selected recovery inspirations. Many of these articles and worksheets include YouTube videos clips by the author to augment the test. The clips are grouped as basic concepts of wounded recovery. Note, the Lesson 1 guidebook, Who's Really Running Your Life, 4th edition from 2011, integrates many of these web pages and worksheets. It may be ordered from Ex Libris and other booksellers, and it is available in hardback, softcover, and e-book formats. If you have a prior edition of this guidebook, see this note. 1. Basic concepts. These links are open in a new window. Unsolicited testimony about the impact of Lesson 1 on a typical parent. 1.2. Checklist. Are you holistically healthy? That's a very good point. And that's the point of this channel. Okay. 1.3. What's a grown wounded child? GWC. Are you one? Detail. We're all one. We are all one of it. There is nobody healthy. Okay. A healthy person cannot be able to live in this world. I haven't met any. I'm still waiting. I hope that this YouTube channel shows me one, because I will mirror their habits and absorb their energies. Okay. What it means to be psychologically wounded. 1.4. Detail in 6 common inherited psychological wounds. 1.5. What means to be psychologically wounded, ruled by a false self. 1.6. What is your personality? Who are you, anyway? 1.7. An introduction to personality subselves. Who really runs your life? 1.8. Perspective on your false self. 1.9. A comparison of true self and a false self behavioral traits. 1.10. Q&A about personality subselves. 1.11. An open letter to people skeptical about personality subselves. 1.12. Exercise interview one or more of your subselves. Experience an inner dialogue. 1.13. Perspective on mental illness. 2. Psychological wounded assessment and recovery. 1.14. An overview of recovery from psychological wounds. 1.15. Q&A about psychological wounds and recovery. 1.16. Perspective in hitting bottom relatively to addiction and wound recoveries. That's addiction and conditioning, what I would add. 1.17. Outline how to assess you for psychological wounds. Wound assessment checklists. 1.18. Common behavioral traits of psychologically wounded people. 1.19. A comparison of true self and false self behaviors. 1.20. Traits of high nurturing family and groups. 1.21. Check your family tree for signs of inherent wounds. 1.22. Estimate the nurturance level of a family and group. 1.23. Traits of high nurturing families and other groups. 1.24. Covert excessive shame to guilt-free and self-love and respect. 1.25. Reduce excessive guilt to normal and use them. 1.26. Reduce excessive fears to normal and use them productively. 1.27. Understand and reduce reality distortions. 1.28. Improve self and multiple trust. 1.29 Reduce bonding disorders, perspective, symptoms, recovery goals. 1.30 Are your spiritual and religion beliefs toxic or nurturing? 1.31 Checklist. Are you holistically healthy? And then there is a link to wound reduction recovery. 1.32 Options of personal addiction recovery. A requisite for wound reduction. 1.33 Recovery options for freeing your true self. 1.34 Introduction to effective part works. 1.35 Options for effective part works with your inner child kids. 1.36 Part work strategy for common psychological problems. 1.37 Perspective on and options for forgiving yourself and others. 1.38 Options for balancing your self-control, willpower. 1.39 Options for improving self-respect and self-love. 1.40 Options for improving your self-confidence. 1.41 Practical alternatives to suicide. 1.42 The importance of physical human contact. Are you getting enough? 1.43 A brief YouTube video on reducing excessive procrastination. 1.44 Perspective on getting free toxic life scripts. 3. Resources and recovery inspirations. 1.45 Research studies supporting Lesson 1 premises. 1.46 YouTube videos of wounds and recovery, personality, subselves, and part works. 1.47 Selected books on personality, wounds, and healing. 1.48 Update the 12 steps for full inner recovery. 1.49 An inventory on your personal recovery assets. 1.50 A profile of your personal maturity. 1.51 Selected recovery inspirations to guide and comfort you along the way. Part 1 Serenity and Gestalt prayers and others. Part 2 Various inspirations. Part 3 On risk and others. Part 4 Big Rocks friendship. Part 5 Dalai Lama's Millennium Spray and other inspirations. Part 6 Systems of inner peace. Part 7 The invitation. Part 8 Clear vision. Part 9 Rules of being human. Part 10 What I have learned. Benefiting from lessons 2 to 7 of this free improvement course depends on significant progress of freeing your true self and reducing related psychological using this lesson 1 resources. So what I would do is get a book, what I did is that I printed everything, right? So I have all the websites here printed, and I have the lessons grouped by these things, right? And I've already studied 50% of it. So you get a book like this, or you can get a planned book, and you should do the assessments in a regular basis, okay, to improve. The healthier you are, the faster you're going to go through this, okay? So this is the index, okay? See you in the next video. Comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.